My beloved child, I am sending you a sign. Yes, a sign that will change your mindset, your heart, and your life completely. Do you realize what is happening in Vatican now? Do you realize how the people who were positioned by my authorities are now dismissed? Do you realize how I changed the seasons, the people from their positions and places, and ultimately they mean nothing? My child, this is the ultimate truth, the ultimate reality. If one pope is no more, then the other one comes, and it goes accordingly. This is the sign I am giving you through what is happening in the Vatican City, that no person on earth has the eternal power. Child, even the most exalted among you are but dust under the breath of my word. Even those clothed in the robes of sanctity, walking amid marble halls and incense, even they must bow before me and yield to the movement of my hand. I am the Lord your God, eternal, infinite, unchanging, and I do not look at appearances as men do. I see the heart. I weigh it on scales no human can comprehend. And in this time, my child, I am shaking the structures. I am rearranging the order you thought was permanent. I am lifting veils, overturning thrones, revealing what has long been hidden. What you see unfolding in the Vatican is not merely news. It is a sign, a divine ripple in the fabric of time, a declaration from the heavens that the kingdom of man, no matter how grand, is but temporary, a shadow of things unseen. The voices of men will fail. The decrees of councils will fade. But my word, my justice, my purposes, these shall never pass away. I am calling you to see with new eyes. I am shaking the foundations so that what cannot be shaken will remain. Do not be deceived by appearances. You see crowns and assume dominion. You see rituals and assume righteousness. But I see hearts. I see intentions wrapped in gold but forged in pride. And I am calling you, my beloved, not to follow titles, but to follow truth, not to trust in positions, but to abide in my presence. For I am the one who raises kings and casts them down. I am the one who breathes and brings stars to life, and with a breath, removes empires from the face of the earth. There is a stirring in the spirit, a movement in the heavens, and you must perceive it. For those who walk with me shall not be caught unaware. My spirit is speaking not only in thunder and storm, but in whispers, in signs, in the shifting of what once seemed immovable. You have asked for a sign, and I have given it. You have looked to the earth, and I am showing you the heavens. You have sought clarity, and I am bringing revelation that no man can silence. My child, turn your gaze upward, for what is happening around you is only the beginning. There will be more and more upheaval, more revealing, more breaking down of idols. Yes, idols not of wood and stone, but of influence, of celebrity, of power wrapped in false humility. I am tearing down what man has built in his name but claimed in mine. I am reclaiming my house. I am restoring my sanctuary, and I will dwell again in purity among my people. Do you see it yet? Do you feel it within you? This trembling, this stirring, this call to come higher? It is I, the Lord your God, speaking into your spirit, awakening what I placed within you before the foundations of the earth. My child, you were born for this time. You were chosen not to merely observe the signs, but to become one, a sign of light in the midst of shadows, a voice of truth where compromises reigned, a fire where ashes once remained cold. The systems of religion are collapsing, not because I desire destruction, but because I demand holiness. I am not a God who shares his glory, and I will not abide in temples where my name is used but my presence is absent. I am returning for a bride without blemish, not a system covered in tradition but void of love. I am purifying, refining, and yes, even separating. And I am beginning in the highest places. For judgment begins in the house of God. So fear not what you see. Do not tremble at the unraveling of robes or the falling of titles. For I am not dismantling my church, I am rebuilding it. Not with stones and cathedrals, but with hearts fully yielded, spirits entirely surrendered, lives laid down in love. These will be my living temples. These will carry my glory. The Vatican may shift. Thrones may empty. But my throne is eternal. It is high above every nation, every city, every institution. And from my throne I see you, my child. I see your questions, your cries, your longing for clarity in a world gone mad. And I say to you, peace, be still. I am with you. I have never left. And though the earth be moved and the mountains fall into the sea, I remain steadfast, faithful, true. My beloved, come closer now. Turn your heart from the noise and lean into me. For the greatest revelation is not found in scandal or spectacle, but in the secret place. It is there I will whisper my mysteries. It is there I will show you visions. It is there I will make known to you what is to come, not to make you fear, but to prepare you. I reveal not to terrify, but to sanctify. I speak not to condemn, but to call you deeper. The hour is late, my child, and I am gathering those who will not bend to the wind of the world. I am calling forth worshipers in spirit and in truth, lovers of righteousness, carriers of my fire. Will you be one of them? Will you allow me to do in you what I must do before I do it through you? Will you surrender not only your will, but your reasoning, your timing, your comfort, your pride? Yes, I am calling for full surrender. Not Sunday morning devotion, but daily dying. Not part-time faith, but all-consuming love. For the days ahead will demand clarity of vision and purity of heart. You cannot walk where I am leading with a divided mind. You cannot carry my authority without first being broken before me. I resist the proud, but give grace to the humble. And it is to the humble that I will entrust my secrets. So look again at what is happening in the earth. Do not merely analyze, discern. Do not speculate, seek me. I am not far from you. I dwell with the contrite, with the one who trembles at my word. I will open your eyes if you ask. I will give you wisdom if you seek. I will pour out my spirit without measure if you will make room for me. I am not moved by man's applause. I am not swayed by opinion polls or theological debates. I am who I am, and I will have my way in the earth. Nothing can stop what I have ordained. No leader can hinder my plan. No failure, no betrayal, no scandal can cancel my covenant. I am God, and I will do what I said I will do. So lift up your head, my child. The time for mourning is past. The time for awakening is now. The shaking is not your end, it is your beginning. I am raising a generation that fears me more than man, that honors my word above culture, that walks in intimacy, not imitation, that knows me, not just about me. This is the generation that will see revival. This is the generation that will see my glory cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. I am sending you. Yes, you. Not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Not because you have the answers, but because you said yes. And my power is made perfect in your weakness. I will use you to speak life where death has reigned, to declare freedom where bondage has built walls. I will place my word in your mouth like fire, and it will consume what must be consumed and ignite what must be ignited. Say yes again. Say yes in the silence. Say yes in the waiting. Say yes in the pain. For every surrender brings a greater glory. And what I will do in you will surpass what you ever imagined. The Vatican will change. Leaders will rise and fall, but you, my child, will stand if you stand in me. Come away with me. Let me show you what eyes have not seen, what ears have not heard, what has not entered the heart of man, the things I have prepared for those who love me. Do not settle for crumbs when I am inviting you to feast. Do not chase signs when I am giving you myself. Remember, child, the story of Saul, the king Israel demanded. They cried out for a king, wanting to be like the nations around them. They desired a human figure to lead them, to fight their battles, to represent them before the world. And I, in my wisdom and patience, gave them Saul, a man head and shoulders above the rest, handsome in appearance but small in heart toward me. For a time he reigned. For a season he led. But when his heart turned away, when he chose his own way over mine, I rejected him. I removed my spirit from him, though his throne remained for a season longer. My child, Saul's crown was still on his head, but my anointing was no longer upon him. And what did I do? I raised up another, a shepherd boy named David, unseen, underestimated, yet chosen by me. A boy after my own heart, anointed not by the approval of men, but by the oil of my prophet and the fire of my spirit. Saul still sat on the throne, but David was already my chosen vessel. And the visible and the invisible were at odds, ere the old and the new overlapped. And in the hidden places I was preparing David for what was to come. Understand this, my child, what you see now is a Saul moment. Though many sit on thrones from which my spirit has departed, many hold titles that my presence no longer endorses. And just as David emerged from the fields, from obscurity, so too are my true servants arising now, anointed in the secret place, trained not in palaces but in wildernesses, molded not by the favor of men but by the fire of my refining. Another instance. Recall my servant Elijah standing on Mount Carmel. In a time when the prophets of Baal feasted at Jezebel's table, when my altars were torn down and my prophets were hunted like prey, I did not stay silent. I called for confrontation. I called for a sign so undeniable that the people would fall on their faces and cry, "The Lord, He is God." Elijah, alone before hundreds of false prophets, called upon me. They called on Baal with loud cries and frantic dancing. He called on me with a simple prayer. And I answered with fire from heaven, fire that consumed not just the sacrifice, but the stones, the dust, the very water poured out to mock me. My child, the fire is coming again. I am answering the altars of compromise and pretense, not with gentle words, but with holy fire. I am exposing falsehoods, burning away pretense, and consuming everything that is not rooted in me. What you see unfolding now is but the beginning of this fire descending. And think of the third instance, when my Son, the very Word made flesh, entered the courts of the temple. He found merchants buying and selling, turning what was sacred into a den of thieves. And what did he do? Did he sit and reason with them? No, he overturned their tables. He drove them out with a whip made by his own hands. He cleansed my house with zeal, declaring, "My house shall be called a house of prayer for all nations." But you have made it a den of robbers. Do you see it now, my child? Do you see the pattern? When my people make my sacred things into platforms for profit, when my house becomes a marketplace instead of a sanctuary, I will not remain silent. I will come. I will overturn the tables. I will drive out what is defiling what is mine. And so I am doing again. These three instances are not relics of a distant past. They are living truths, breathing patterns of my dealings with mankind. Saul represents the leaders who hold position without my presence. The prophets of Baal represent the religious systems that mix the sacred with the profane. The money changers in the temple represent the commercialization of what was meant to be holy. My beloved child, look at the Vatican. Look at the great cathedrals. Look at the organizations and hierarchies that claim my name but have often lost my presence. I am not impressed with marble pillars and golden chalices. I am not moved by the grandeur of rituals empty of heart. I seek worshippers who worship me in spirit and in truth. I seek hearts that tremble at my word, not institutions that polish their image but deny my power. What you see now, the dismissals, the scandals, the confusion, is my hand at work. I am exposing what has been hidden for generations. I am tearing away the veils, for I am a jealous God, and I will not share my glory with another. I am shaking not just the Vatican, but every structure built on pretense. I am calling out to those who will hear, "Come out from among them. Be separate, be holy, be mine." This sign is not given to breed despair, but to stir hope. It is not the sign of the end of my church, but the beginning of her purification. The shaking means I am near. The exposure means I am about to do a new thing. The removal of the old means I am making room for a new move of my spirit, a new era of purity, of power, of true intimacy with me. My child, do not mourn what falls. Do not cling to what I am removing. When Saul falls, David arises. When the fire falls, the false prophets are silenced. When the tables are overturned, true worship is restored. So it shall be now. I am preparing my church not for survival, but for triumph. I am adorning my bride not with man-made ornaments, but with righteousness, humility, and burning love. The Vatican and all it symbolizes has been weighed. And while there are those within it whose hearts are still mine, the system itself is under my judgment. I am calling my children out of systems that worship tradition more than truth, that exalt man more than Christ, that value power more than purity. I am gathering a remnant, small in number but mighty in spirit, who will know their God and do exploits. You ask, what does this sign mean for us? It means the time is urgent. It means you must examine your own heart, your own walk with me. Are you clinging to forms and forgetting the fire? Are you trusting in leaders instead of leaning on me? Are you satisfied with second-hand encounters, or do you long to know me face to face? The sign means you must prepare. Prepare not by hoarding goods, but by cleansing your soul. Prepare not by fearing man, but by fearing me, a holy, reverent fear that leads to wisdom and life. Prepare by hiding my word in your heart, by dwelling in the secret place, by tuning your ear to the whispers of my spirit. The sign means you must choose. Choose this day whom you will serve, not in word only, but in action, in thought, in every hidden part of your being. Will you serve tradition, or will you serve truth? Will you serve comfort, or will you serve my calling? Will you blend into the systems of man, or will you stand apart as a living stone in my holy temple? My child, my beloved, I am drawing you closer, closer than you have ever been. I am inviting you into a deeper communion, a more radical obedience, a more fiery love. The shaking is not to harm you, but to heal you. The fire is not to destroy you, but to refine you. The exposure is not to shame you, but to free you. I am calling you to build again, but not with the blueprints of men. Build according to my pattern. Build altars of pure worship, and build homes saturated with prayer. Build communities that love each other deeply, from a pure heart. Build ministries that seek no applause but mine. Build lives that cry, not to us, Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory. My spirit is moving across the earth like the waters of a flood, not a flood of destruction, but a flood of glory. I am sweeping away the old debris. I am washing clean the polluted fields. And from the soil I am causing new life to spring forth, humble, holy, holy mine. You will see more signs. You will hear of more shakings. Do not be alarmed. These things must happen. For just as I shook Egypt before delivering Israel, just as I shook the earth when my Son surrendered his spirit on the cross, just as I shook the place where the disciples prayed after Pentecost, so too I am shaking now to make way for deliverance, for resurrection, for outpouring. My child, take heart. Be courageous. Be steadfast. Know that the same hand that shakes the nations holds you tenderly. The same voice that thunders from the heavens speaks gently to your soul. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. I am he who holds the keys of life and death, of time and eternity. And I am with you. I am in you. I am for you. No shaking can separate you from my love. No falling throne can unseat my promises. No crumbling system can undo my kingdom. Lift your eyes, my beloved. Look beyond the ruins, but look to the horizon where the dawn breaks anew. A greater glory is coming. A greater harvest is near, and you are part of it. Be faithful. Be fearless. Be fervent. For soon the trumpet will sound, and my glory will cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. And those who have walked with me through the fire, those who have not bowed to Baal, those who have not sold their souls for silver, they shall shine like the stars forever and ever. And you, my child, you shall see it with your own eyes. You shall walk in it with your own feet. You shall proclaim it with your own voice. This is my promise. This is my decree. This is my love song over you. I have spoken, so let it be. Amen.